Don't know why I was logged out. How was my birthday? My birthday was good. I spent it, I mean, I don't know why Thanksgiving was scheduled on my birthday. They need to figure that out. Um, but I was able to spend it with family, and so that was really good. Oh, I will make sure I change that. Thank you, Gwen. Right, right. I like that. Finally, a national day celebrating me. All right, so let's get into it. Welcome, everyone. Today is Magical Monday Manifestations. It is December 2nd, the beginning of the end, the beginning of the last month of the year. This month, I am encouraging you all to take time to reflect on your successes, on your wins, on your achievements for 2024. Within the membership, that's what we're doing all month long. Because what I have found for myself personally is that at the end of the year, I do take time to reflect, but usually what Valerie does is she reflects on all the things that she said she was going to do that she didn't get time to do. And I create this long list of stuff I didn't do. And then I set my intentions for the next year to do all those things. And in the process of doing that, does Valerie ever stop and give herself time to reflect and pat herself on the back for the things that she did do? Rarely ever. So this year, I'm going to take time for myself, and within the membership, that's what all of us are focusing on, is reflecting, but reflecting with the view to what went right. What can we celebrate? What can we have feel successful about? So I encourage you all to take this last month to maybe do some of that as we get into today's card read. This is a Tarot and Oracle card read. It is called Magical Monday Manifestations because we come here to manifest our lives and not just react to what has already been manifested by others. Because enough of that, right? Enough of that. We've done that for the majority of our life. We got on this spiritual path so we could figure some shit out. And in the figuring some shit out, I think one of the biggest things is understanding that we have power. We have power that oftentimes we don't tap into, power to manifest, power to steer and direct our lives. And in the midst of all of that, do we need some help? Absolutely. That's what our spirit guides are here for. That's what the divine is here for. That's what light workers like myself are here for, to tap in and provide that guidance. Not so that we can figure out how to play according to the rules, but so that we can start making our own rules for this game we call life. So, okay, I see that message. So let's get started with the tarot cards. Thank you, Nicole. I'm thankful for you as well. Doing some things on social media too, so I suggest you follow me on social media. The easiest way would be to follow me on wap.com. And if Jacqueline, if you could drop that link, just the general link, the wap.com, Valerie Lewis. WAP has undergone some changes. It is a little bit more interesting to navigate, but I think you all can still find your way. But I'm posting journaling prompts for this month, journaling prompts that are meant to encourage you to reflect on your 2024. I've also been posting tarot cards of the day. If you don't feel like joining WAP, or you feel like WAP is too confusing to navigate, which I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on a tutorial, so y'all figure out how to navigate it, because I want to have one place where you can go for everything. But in the midst of that, they changed everything, and so now there's a little bit of tweaking that I need to do. But what I was saying is, if you can't navigate WAP, that's fine. It's coming. You'll get there. But please follow me on social media, because I'm also posting those same journaling prompts and moments to reflect and tarot cards of the day on social media, namely on my Facebook pages, Goddess with an Attitude on Facebook, Tarot Unicorns and Coffee on Facebook. All About Tarot and Oracle Cards is a private group on Facebook. So that's where you can find all of the wonderful things that I plan on doing throughout the month of December to help us put a cherry on top as we close out this year. Let's see. Did y'all see my photo this morning on Facebook? Maybe some of y'all saw it, maybe some of you didn't. I am drawing cards. I'm not just talking, y'all. I am drawing cards. We're gonna get to the cards in a minute. I received a wonderful. Oh, what's the last card, Spirit? We have 6 cards for this week. That's why I stopped for just a moment. I was like, what are we doing, Spirit? Spirit gave us 6 cards instead of the normal 5. But I took a picture of my setup. I've got my sound bowl and I've got my, I'm going to finish a sentence, y'all. Just hang on. Just hang on. Let me go back. For my birthday, I got a set of candles so that I could do candle magic. For my setup this morning, I lit a candle with the intention of sharing that energy with you all. It is a black candle, and black candles mean a couple of things for me. I chose black because we just had the new moon, and black to me is that blank slate. You get to write what you want on it, just like a new moon. It's all black. I also chose black because this candle is supposed to draw away any negativity from your life and also just anything that's no longer serving you. So with that, let me show you. It's been burning since about, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes ago. Can y'all see it? Just focus on it for just a moment and think about what you no longer want, what you no longer need in your life, and just send that energy to this candle to be burned away, to be taken away. Sharing that with you this morning. Give yourself just a moment to release those energies. Especially with this new moon in Sagittarius. That is fire energy, and that fire is burning along what we no longer need, but also igniting our passions and our creativity so that we can call in what we do need. All right, so as we release and reflect, let's turn these tarot cards over and see what additional messages come through for us from Spirit. And let me spotlight myself here. Okay, first up is the Chariot. The Chariot rushing forward. The Chariot is that energy of we have completed one stage of our life and we're rushing into the next stage of the next session. And that's just based upon what I know about the Fool's Journey. 7 is the completion of the first phase or the first phase. The first phase or stage, or phage, as Valerie says, the first phase or stage of the Fool's life journey is completed within those first 7 cards. And so this is card number 7, the Chariot. We've completed the first phase, but we're rushing forward into the next phase. I'm going to go to the book on this one. I haven't read the book's interpretation of the Chariot card for a while. This is from Lightseers Tarot, as Jacqueline has said over there. Victory. I like that. So the first key word is victory, and we just talked about celebrating our accomplishments. Victory, speed and action, determination, harnessing and uniting opposing energies, which is shown by the black and the white horse. Opposing energies, but they're still both working together to pull that chariot forward. Success, travel, confidence, willpower, and control. The universe constantly gives us the opportunity to become the person we want to be. The universe constantly gives us open doors for us to become the person we want to be. And it's our job to just step through that door. It's so much easier than we make it out to be. It's a magical time for taking inspired action. That's that Sagittarius energy. Push ahead with willpower and determination because you will get there. Remember, inaction is the same as deciding to be, and it's the same as deciding to stay still. The Chariot reminds you that while you are on the way to your goal, you need to make decisions about your best path forward. If you feel pulled in 2 different directions, know that you will be able to coax both of these energies towards the same target. Charging ahead without paying attention to your path can sometimes be harmful to those in your wake. So take care not to trample on others on your way up the mountain. Choose the thing you really want. Choose the thing you really want. I'm going to say that one more again for the people in the back who fell asleep. Choose the thing you really want, which is the same as my key phrase of decide. Have you truly decided what you wanted? Focus your efforts and move swiftly. If you aren't sure what your direction is, then it's time to make some plans, align goals, and spark dreams. The affirmation statement is I choose who I am becoming, and I run towards it with conviction and consistent motion. Four, five, six, 7, 8. I think we're in an 8-year, a strength year. We're wrapping up a chariot year. 2024. I think we're in a strength year because 2020. So the year is 2024. You add all the digits together and you come up with a number, and then you take that number and you correspond it to one of the major arcana cards. Which means next year is a hermit year. That's a very interesting energy for me. Is that right? Strength? Yes. Next year will be the hermit. Kitty, I'm laughing on that one. Which we will talk about. I hope you are signed up for the end of the year. Yes, I am still doing it. The end of the year, New Year's Eve, tarot free card pool for everyone. We talk about the tarot card of the year for 2025. I help you find your own personal tarot card of the year for 2025, which are just energies that you might want to be aware of based on your birth date. And then we also, I pull a tarot card for everyone. It's just one tarot card for what you might look forward to in the upcoming months or for the entire year. I love doing that event. This will be my fourth year doing it, I think. And it's on December 31st on New Year's Eve. And you will be able to find the information on WAP.com whenever WAP fixes their little glitch and allows me to post events again. But in the meantime, I'll just let you know you can find it also on Facebook events. I've posted it on Facebook for the time being. Look for that being posted by the end of this week so that you all can RSVP and show up to that.
Central, my dear.
What?
2 p.m. Central.
Yes, 2 p.m. Central is the time that we'll be doing that on New Year's Eve. I'm glad you said that. I was wondering why I couldn't find it. Yeah, there's a glitch on the platform that won't allow me to post new events. So I plan to go on later today and just make an actual post in the forum that'll let you know all of the dates for the events until the event part gets fixed. All right, next up is 6 of Pentacles. So we started out with the major arcana card, which is overarching, looking at all areas of our life with the Chariot. And then our next card is 6 of Pentacles, which is honing in on our individual day-to-day activities. Pentacles is about our manifestations. Pentacles is that earth energy. What are we physically, I use the term loosely, able to interact with here? And physically can mean things like our relationships, not actually things like physical possessions, but it does include our physical possessions. Our means of supporting ourselves. Pentacles often refers to coinage and our money matters and careers. But we have the 6 of Pentacles, and this card is about giving and receiving, where you can see here, there is a giving and receiving, but behind it, look behind it. What's that sign? It's the infinity sign. Always, always, always being reminded of the infinite nature of the universe. Sometimes you are in a position to receive from others, and sometimes you are in a position to give to others. Yeah. But the cycle is infinite. Where are you at in that cycle? Are you blocking your receiving? Are you not giving? Because here's the thing, whether you are giving or receiving, if you're not fully giving or if you're not fully receiving, there's some kind of blockage in there that clogs up the whole cycle. So if you're in a position to give to others and you're like, no, I can't give to others because what if I don't have enough left for myself? Lack mindset. And if you're not giving because of a lack mindset, that's cool. We're all working through that on some level, but also understand that you not giving because of that lack mindset also inhibits you from receiving because of that same lack mindset. So how can you find balance in that? That's Spirit's message for right now. How can I find balance? How can I give without feeling depleted? How can I give without putting myself into a situation where I'm fearful of lack? And how can I open myself up to receive more? Are you, and it's not just about money matters. It's not just about someone giving you something. What about compliments? Are you the kind of person that it's very difficult for you to receive a compliment? Because that is also a form of receiving that many of us need to work on when we don't really think about those things. So giving and receiving is what Spirit is asking us to focus on, asking yourself where you're at in that cycle. Also understanding that the universe is infinite. I love that infinity sign behind it because it's reminding us of the infinite nature of the universe. If you truly believe in the infinite nature of the universe, which some of us are working on that belief, but if you truly believe in the infinite nature of the universe, can you ever give away too much? No, because it will always be replenished by the infinite nature of the universe. Can you ever receive too much? Can you ever receive? Some of us have the block of, this is more than my fair share. I don't want to take away from others. You're not going to take away from others because what? The universe is infinite. So receive to your heart's content. Allow yourself to receive so much that you have a surplus, and then you can gift that surplus to others. What's up next? More Pentacles. No, I'm sorry, not Pentacles. Page of Cups. Page of Cups, the When Pigs Fly card. Believing in the impossible, because once you believe in it, it's no longer impossible. How do you change the impossible into the possible? Belief, period. Pigs fly, Page of Cups. Pages represent that new beginning, that fresh, youthful energy. This is the energy of someone who has not been told that pigs can't fly. So in his belief structure, in his imagination, pigs can absolutely fly. And he's going to create some scenario where he looks out his window and a fucking pig is flying by. I don't know how he's going to do it, but based on his belief system, he's going to be in a universe, a situation, something miraculous is going to happen. Could be a mirage, could be a poster, could be a truck driving by with the image of a flying pig. Doesn't matter how he manifests it. He knows in his belief structure that that is a truth. And so he's going to see it. He's going to see it some kind of way because of his beliefs. So what are you believing in? Are there new new fresh beginning? Are there new beliefs that you would like to usher in that would make your life more pleasant, that would make your life easier to navigate? What are those beliefs? Maybe jot down those beliefs. Maybe you want to see pigs fly. Maybe you want to just test it. Maybe you're like, Valerie, I don't believe that. I don't believe that just because I believe pigs can fly, that I'm going to look out my window and see some kind of representation of a pig flying. Test it. Try it. Play with the universe. Tell the universe to show you a flying pig or whatever else you want to see that will make your life more enjoyable. Page of Cups. Making the impossible possible by shifting our beliefs. Speaking of shifting beliefs, Eight of Swords. This is what's keeping you from seeing the pigs flying. Your self-imposed limitations, the stories you tell yourself about pigs can't fly. I know, what is it called? Not biology. I know pharmacology. I don't know the word, y'all. I know about animals. I know that pigs have 4 legs and no wings. And I know that they can't fly. And I know that just because I believe that they can fly, that don't make them fly. Okay. Spirit's like, okay, then I won't show you flying pigs. I'm going to show Valerie and all the other crazies flying pigs, but I won't show you flying pigs because this is what you said you are available to receive. So think about the limitations that you are placing upon your reality, not upon your life, upon your reality. What are you allowing to be true for yourself? And what are you disallowing to be true for yourself based upon the stories that you are telling yourself? Eight of Swords. Swords is our thinking. Swords is air energy. And here it's interesting because she's looking at a reflection. And we just talked about reflecting on this year. As you reflect on your 2024, what beliefs disallowed you from receiving the life that you wanted? And what do you want to change? Send it to the candle, y'all. My candle is still burning. Send those beliefs that are no longer serving you into this flame, into this black candle that's going to take away all negativity, take away all limits and restrictions that we have placed upon ourselves. Interesting how those birds are also black. Self-bound limitations. And here we have the devil. This is perfect. These two cards together are so perfect. The devil represents an invitation. Look at him inviting you. And I love how this devil is sexy as hell. He's not a scary figure. He was never meant to, in the context of tarot cards, never meant to be a scary figure. He was meant to represent an invitation and also meant to show you, again, your own bondage. So in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot card of the devil, it shows two individuals, a male and a female, that are shackled, chained by loose chains, very loose chains, but chained to the throne that the devil is sitting up. It's not really a throne, it's more of a pedestal, to a pedestal that the devil is sitting upon. And the understanding is that these individuals have chained themselves to this by giving into their vices, by overindulging, by not finding balance, but it's all self-inflicted bondage. And the devil is inviting you to free yourself. The devil is saying, I didn't never tell nobody to do nothing they didn't want to do. I just extended an invitation and y'all called it temptation. And then y'all made me out to be a bad person. And then y'all change yourself to me. And the devil is coming to say, I am showing up, not the devil in the context of religion. Let me be very clear. Not that devil. This devil in the context of tarot is showing up. The devil embodies the things that we deny ourselves, the pleasurable things that we deny ourselves. And the devil shows up when we need to bring balance back to that. The devil is saying, you can indulge in these things, just don't overindulge in these things. The devil is showing up to say you need more fun in your life. Why are you denying these things that you know will bring you pleasure and joy, fun and happiness? Because someone else has labeled it as something taboo, or someone else has told you that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And so in listening to those someone else's, you chain and bind yourself to this idea that these things that bring you joy are bad. And the devil is saying, it's not bad. It's not bad. If we think of every thought, everything that we have as a gift from the divine, then why would the divine inspire us to desire something that is bad for ourselves? Feel into that, because that some of you are like, I know. Some of you have friends or family members who desire vices, alcoholism, drugs, gambling, things that we know have destroyed their lives. And you're like, well, why would the divine inspire that? You have to dig deeper. What is really behind what they are seeking and what they are craving? What is behind those things that they are craving? The true desire is freedom. The true desire is release. The true desire is peace and happiness. And they can only find it, some people can only find it through those vices. The devil is saying, take a deeper look at what these things are tempting you and calling you. Figure out what's truly your soul's desire. Have any of y'all seen Lucifer, the series? I love that series because it really portrays the devil in a different light. And I love his scene as he looks right into your eyes and he has this magical ability to say, what's your true desire? And the people are like in a trance state and they let him know what his true desire is, what their true desire is. That's him. That's him all day long. What is your true desire? Let me help you uncover your true desire. You don't really want the alcohol. You just want an escape from the way life is, and you don't know how to find that escape. So because this is coming up as a major arcana in our card pool today, right after us being trapped by our own thoughts, these two are very much tied together. What thoughts have you created that have told you that your desires are wrong? Can you get to the root of what that desire really is and figure out how to accomplish that desire in a way that feels good for you? That's the invitation. And then, speaking of bringing things back into balance, I do feel like when the devil card comes up for me, that's an invitation for me to bring things back into balance. And here we have, this is that sixth card, that bonus card, Temperance. Why do I love the Temperance card so much? First of all, it's card number 14. It has a 4 in it. 4 is my favorite number. But Temperance is also the card of Sagittarius. And this card is all about balance. You see the moon and the sun being balanced here, the light and the dark. Temperance is the alchemist of the tarot. In traditional tarot, it's a figure, an angelic figure, non-binary, pouring liquid from one chalice to another, from one cup to another, trying to find that magical mix, that perfect combination, the alchemy to create what they want. Balance is not 50-50. Balance is balance. Do you need 80% fun in your life and 20% work? Depends upon you and your particular journey. So this Temperance card is coming up to show us how to find balance, or saying that now would be a good time to seek balance, but not balance in the sense that many of us have thought of it before. Not balance in the sense of society says I'm supposed to be this much work and this much play. Balance in the sense of, let me listen to myself. Let me tune in and listen to what I want, what my journey is calling forth from me. Does my journey say I need to spend 90% of the time on a beach and only 10% of my time answering emails? Then that's what I need to do in this moment until balance tells me something different. Temperance is about finding your own personal sense of balance in this universe, and that requires listening to yourself and not listening to the noise of the world around you. So that's what we have for tarot. Let's move on to our oracle cards. And as I have been doing, I'm going to ask if there are any questions or any areas you would like me to focus on. Go ahead and put that over in the chat. Any questions you might have, any things you might be focused on trying to get an answer or trying to get clarity on before we go into this last month of the year. And I will try to get more specific with my messages from the oracle cards, but let's move on. So this is Wisdom of the Shadow. I received this deck as a gift because I am a member in Stephanie Gray's membership program, which is called Go ahead, Jacqueline. Which is called what?
Creation something? Creation.
Creating from the
Creating?
inside out, maybe?
Yes.
I think that's the name of it. But in any case, I received this deck as a gift. It's Wisdom of the Shadow, and Jenny Han, who is Stephanie's creative partner with that group, is the one that did all of the artwork for this deck. I haven't used this deck a lot, but I just felt called to use it for today's card pool. Let's see what cards come up. Speaking of which, so every month within her membership, she gives away a free gift to one of the members. And I just thought that was such a lovely idea to kind of give back. I have incorporated it in a different way. So if you are on WAP.com, this part does still work. The WAP wheel Every day you get a chance to spin the wheel, and there are prizes loaded in there like free reading, a coffee mug, a t-shirt, a jewelry item, things from me that I am gifting to you for free. You just have to spin the wheel and see if you are a winner for the day. So Wisdom of the Shadow, I was going to pull one card, but instead I pulled two. Let's see what these messages are. Tenderness is the first card. Tenderness. Oh, there's a card in this deck called Reflection. I might read from that after we read the cards that Spirit had me draw. Tenderness. I tend to myself. I offer myself tenderness. I allow a replenishment of all layers of my being. We aren't machines, we are humans. Regardless of what lives we create for ourselves, we are vulnerable to hurts. We are susceptible to burnout and many internal burns that cannot be seen by the eye. We need spaces to recharge, realign, renourish, regenerate. We need spaces to offer tenderness and tending to ourselves. If we don't offer this to ourselves on a regular basis, we are likely to walk around feeling fragile. And as I read that statement, I'm reminded of the Six of Pentacles, that receiving, sometimes it's about receiving that self-care, taking time out to nurture ourselves. Tenderness and tending don't have to come when we are already burned out. We can create spaces for ourselves to mend, heal, and be so that we can avoid that outcome. If we were offering tender healing to a physical burn, we might call in some regenerative herbs, be very gentle, and create a space where the repair could take place. We can offer this tenderness and healing to our inner burns and invisible hurts. Think about ways that you push yourself beyond what feels good. I'm going to give y'all a minute to actually conjure that thought up. Over this past week, how have you pushed yourself beyond what feels good? And it could be as simple as doing something you don't like the laundry. Or it could be as more complicated as getting up and going to a job you don't like. But how have you pushed yourself beyond what feels good? Think about what ways that you offer yourself tenderness or hold back tenderness. Notice what tenderness is being called for in this moment, be it mental, emotional, physical, energetic, or some other layer of your being. So I really like that. This book also has some journaling prompts and also a ritual that you can do to go along with the message. I'm not going to read that at this time because I'm going to move on to the other card I drew from this deck, which is Panic. I feel this image. Panic. Knots in the stomach. Heart center looks like it's on flame. All of those hands grabbing, those feel like the demands of the world around me, all of those hands. Panic, what an interesting image. And let's go to the message. Panic, what is... Here we go. I meet the sensations of panic with a grounded, gentle presence. I breathe in and take a deeper look. Sudden overwhelm in our system is felt viscerally, with or without cause. When a burst of angst, fear, or high stress arises, it can catapult one into hysterical feelings or thoughts. It isn't our minds. It isn't just in our minds. The body rushes in an automatic response. Our mind and body are intrinsically intertwined. What happens to the mind when the body begins to feel charged, static, heart racing, sick with angst, nervousness, or jumbled uncertainty in the gut? What happens to the body when the mind races, irrational thoughts pervade, fear arises, and overwhelm hits? One feeds the other. It can be difficult to decipher the root. It can turn into a self-perpetuating spiral, amplifying the very panic itself. It can be frightening to feel an inability to breathe or think with the fullest coherence. And that, amen to all of that. Sometimes I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach that I don't really know where it comes from. And immediately my mind kicks in and it's like, uh-oh, must be something you forgot, must be something you didn't do. What are you forgetting? And now my mind is racing through all the thoughts. And now because my mind is racing through all the thoughts, my body is reacting in a panic way. Now my heart is racing. Now I've got palpitations. Now I'm maybe even breaking into a sweat because I'm so worried about what I may have forgotten. They just both keep feeding into each other over and over again. What are we doing? Why are we so anxious? And so being able to get control of that or being able to find out what is the root cause of this, how can I just get back to the basic and understand to myself, does my body or my mind need to focus on this at this time? Or is this something that I fabricated out of thin air or something that I picked up from someone else? While we can't control every situation, we can learn to repattern how we meet panic and stress when they arise. In times of high stress, angst, or panic, how does your body feel viscerally in response? In times where your heart races or you feel uneasy for no apparent reason, does the mind swoop in and create more stress? Mine does. Consider ways to pause, breathe, ground, and self-soothe when the body and mind are at odds. So again, there are journaling questions and also a ritual that you can do. I'm going to say the easiest ritual is to pause and take some breaths. 3 to 5 breaths is all it takes to recenter yourself if you set the intention to do so. And so this message, while it's not quite like a continuing message to all of the other energies that we've talked about, I feel like this message must be for someone, maybe someone experiencing panic, maybe someone, when I said it's the end of the year, all of a sudden had an oh shit reaction to that announcement. Whatever that is for you, just take some time to sit with that and see if you can approach overwhelm, panic, anxiety in a different way. I have definitely been figuring out, and maybe it'll be ready to share with the general public in a month or two, but figuring out my own ways, again, tuning in, listening to myself, figuring out my own ways to deal with anxiety, because it's just ridiculous, y'all. It's ridiculous. I'm like, Valerie, why are we worried about this? Are you not a creator? Are you not a magnificent, magical being, Valerie? Yeah, yes. Then why are you worried about this? I don't know. And so I've got kind of been going through my own process over the past several months to lower my anxiety level. Tried very many different things, and I invite you all. I will say that I'm a lot less anxious now, and when I do have anxiety pop up, I'm able to notice it in the very beginning stages and do something about it. That has changed everything. Just lowering my anxiety level has definitely changed how I deal with life. So hopefully that gives you some inspiration to find your own way of dealing with that. And hopefully when I get to a point where I'm like, this works and it works every time, I'll share it with the general public. Yes. Okay. Somebody pointed out that that earlier theme of um, listening to ourselves, the idea of temperance, that last card of finding your own internal balance, turning within, that also can be tied into reducing your panic, because your internal balance, when things are balanced within you physically and also mentally, panic is not even a what? Panic doesn't happen when we feel grounded and balanced within ourselves. So I like that. I like that tie-in. Yes, absolutely. The next deck I'm going to is Divine Circus Oracle cards. The Good Geisha. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all, before I go on, I meant to mention this during the tarot reading, but I've reopened Tarot Mastery class. So if you are interested in being certified as a tarot reader, that is open, and the special early bird pricing runs until December 7th. So you still have a few days to take advantage of that. The course is priced at $288. It is a 10-week course where you, at the completion of it, you are certified by yours truly, and I will endorse you in all of your tarot reading efforts as long as you successfully complete the course. The early bird special is $100 off that price, so you can join for $100. You can join the course for $188. if you do so before December 7th. And our card is the Good Geisha, card number 18. Again, this is from Divine Circus by Alana Fairchild. Card number 18. Thank you, Jacqueline. I know Jacqueline has to leave us a little early. The Good Geisha. This part is just the italicized portion. So like the message of the card or the message of the card speaking to you. You are clever. You know how to play an impressive game of strategy to win approval and gain allies. Even without always noticing it consciously, you sense what people want. Sometimes you are so good at showing others what they want to see that you forget how beautiful you are when you are just being you. But your time has come, the time to unveil the one true, real you and attract the allies who are not interested in what you can do for them, but who love you for who you truly are. And that very much sounds like the geisha, the role of the geisha, wearing all of that makeup, kind of hiding who she truly is, fitting into the role of perfect mate, putting that persona out there so that she can attract a mate, a husband, a partner, catering to the needs of others, and sometimes losing ourselves in that process. You are ready to opt out of a game that most people play unconsciously. It's a game of image and appearance at the expense of the true self. So many people are used to playing this game that they no longer realize that they're doing it. They don't really know who they are, and they are afraid to really find out. They live behind masks that appeal to others, but slowly starve their authentic self, denying the opportunity to experience being seen and to receive real love. That's that giving and receiving again. Are you unable to receive because you're not being your true authentic self? Any promise, excuse me, any promise of success, love, or wealth that begins with you contouring yourself into something you are not is a false promise. It cannot deliver anything worthy of you. You are not one of those fearful souls, but you know what it's like to have been caged in an invisible prison. Caged in an invisible prison. Does that look like this? Yes, it does. A way of thinking and being that is not good for you. In times gone by, your soul has been shackled, your voice silenced, your soul has been shackled, your voice silenced, your true beauty hidden under more appropriate and acceptable guises, your intentions misunderstood, and your words misconstrued. You've been like a beautiful wild creature captured as though somehow you could be tamed and changed. Fortunately, your sacred rage and divine defiance has rattled the cage of your past, forcing the door to swing open. You can and must continue to set yourself free. Be free from the expectations, opinions, and projections of others. Be free even from the self-image that you convinced yourself you were supposed to be. Be free from the self-image that you convinced yourself you were supposed to be. Think about that statement for a minute. Think about that. You convinced yourself, which means there's going to need to be some unwiring, some rewiring, some dissolution of belief systems, some creating a new version of self to even break free from all of that, because you did such an amazing job of convincing yourself that you were less than. Now it's time for you to do an amazing job of convincing yourself of how amazing you are, stepping into your true power. Because you were able to convince yourself that you were less than, that you had no power in this world, that in and of itself shows yourself your true power. And that's something that I've been kind of working around in my brain. If I was able to convince myself through my own thoughts, my own beliefs, no one outside came, through my own thoughts and my own creative beliefs, I was able to convince myself I was less than and non-deserving. Can't I use that same power of creation to create thoughts and beliefs that convince myself of my true power? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like having a wand and using that wand unconsciously to create so many things that you don't like in your life that you forget that you have the wand. Well, this is your reminder. You still have that wand, and you can now use that wand to create things that you do want, to create things that support your values, support your worth, support who you truly are, support the divine being that you came here to be. Be unafraid to discover the depths of your own being coming to life. If you do not, you shall bind yourself to a life far too bland for the color and majesty of your soul. Being what another wants you to be is a false promise of love, and you are destined for love, real, wild, pure, and true. Make sure you start by giving it to yourself. Then you can share it with others and receive it from others too. I love it. The affirmation for this, having said all of that and read all of that text, the affirmation is so simple. It's so good to be me. That's it. It's so good to be me. Repeat that affirmation to yourself over and over again throughout the course of this week, because that's the message coming from Spirit as far as how we can best navigate this week ahead. Okay, it's so good to be me. It is. It's so good to be me. Add some flair to that statement if you want. It's so good to be me because I'm fucking amazing. It reminds me of that Meghan Trainor song. If I was you, I'd want to be me too. I wanted to be me too. Y'all know that song? Play that song on repeat. That's a very inspiring song. Let's see, what else do we want to go with? We've got a few more minutes. I'm going to stay with fire energy, and we're going to go to Dragon Path Oracle. Let's see what these fire-breathing mythical creatures have to share with us. Harness the energy of the dragons is what it says on the back of the deck. Let the dragons guide you in becoming the best possible version of yourself. As you release fears and pain, accept and nurture yourself, and embrace spiritual awakening. That's what's on the back of the box. Let's see, what card is for us today? Destiny. Destiny is the dragon that's coming in today. Card number 15. Let's see here. Destiny. The quote, the italicized quote is, "It is your life, your journey, your path. You walk it your way." Destiny is a mighty dragon of great authority. She has no time for fluffness, ego, or human dramas. She and her kind have been hidden in the depth of the earth for eons, waiting for us to be ready to take back our power and stand in our individual and collective might. She wants to galvanize us into action so that we stand strong against adversity, and if necessary, fly in the face of authority to challenge systems that are no longer fit for our purpose. She says, if you want change, you need to be that change, not wait for others to do it for you. You do not need their permission to live your life your way, nor can they absolve you from responsibility. It is your life, your journey, your path. You walk it your way. Light and fluffy will not create lasting changes on your planet. Have you ever tried moving a large square, flat-bottomed stone uphill? It is impossible. As humans, you need to come together and work in union, not isolation. Take responsibility for who you are. Hold the vision of what you wish to create and work together with others. End quote. We are facing periods of change. Truer words have never been spoken. We are facing periods of change and at times adversity. We, as people of Earth, can only achieve a more secure future if we come together and work for the good of all. We can be the change. The time for division has passed. It is time for us to unite, collaborate, and work in unison. And I want to say, absolutely, yes, it's about community. We're in the age of Aquarius, all about community. But also, this is about you uniting with yourself. you uniting with that higher version of yourself, you saying, I am no longer going to play small. I am no longer going to play this role, this version of me, because I see that version, that role over there. It's like a screenplay. It's like you're on stage. Life is a stage. I know that's an old way of looking at it, but imagine just for a moment if life really were a stage play. And right now you have chosen the role of a supporting actor or actress. When the lead role is waiting for you, beckoning for you, maybe you're a little bit better. Maybe you're the understudy to the lead role. Maybe you're almost there. But that lead role is yours to claim. That lead role in your life, in shining as the star that you came here to shine, is yours to claim. So this destiny, this asking you, what do you need to change? How do you need to, sometimes the lining up, the collaborating with the other is about you collaborating with that version of you. You saying, I'm done with this role and I want to step into that role. How can we make that work? And it's an internal collaboration with different versions of yourself so that when you are done integrating and collaborating, you come out in that shining role. You come out as the star. You come out center stage. So yes, collaborate with community around you, but also don't forget to collaborate with yourself. With which version do you truly want to represent yourself as? So destiny, that's the card we're going to end on today. Other messages from spirit that are coming through. Give me just a moment because I just keep hearing it almost feels like a broken record. I'm going to say it because spirit is saying it again. It's time for us to truly become the versions of ourselves that we came here to be. Yes, we came here to understand what it feels like to experience limitation. That's why we came in. Our memory, so to speak, was wiped. We spent our whole lifetime trying to figure out this thing called life, trying to figure out who we are, our relationship to others. And in all of that process, the overall end goal is for us to remember our power, is for us to remember who we truly are, it's for us to remember our infinite nature. And so in that remembering, it's asking us, calling us to step forward into that bigger, larger version of ourselves. And so now is the time to figure out what that version is if we don't know. If we do know what that version is, to find ways, modalities, journeys, paths forward to become that version of ourselves. This is no longer a spectator's game. That's straight from spirit. This is no longer a spectator's game. You are being called to move into action and to stop watching your life pass you by, to stop reacting. You're being called to step into that role of creator. We're all being called to step into the role of creator with infinite possibilities at our disposal. Many of us have stepped into the role, this is spirit, not me. Many of you have stepped into the role of being a creator, but you are still creating from a place of limits and restrictions. I invite you to continually examine your self-imposed limits and restrictions so that you can remove them one by one or collectively so that you can become the version of yourself that gets to experience a limitless life. And that's the end of what they had to say. So I hope that message benefits you all. I hope the cards that were pulled today benefit you all. And I hope you take all of this information, apply it in whatever way feels most comfortable for you, and ask yourself, how can I create my life more effectively this week? How can I create my life more effectively this week? Thank you all so much for being here. Please check out all of my specials. Last day, today is the last day to get in on my specials for readings, which are $100 for 60 minutes. Also sign up for the Tarot Mastery course if you are interested in that. And make sure you're following me on all the socials. All right, love you all.